What's going on, guys? We are here on the Ranbir Sanghera Health and Fitness and Gains and Chin-Ups and Deadlifts podcast, where we talk about how you can get strong, how you can get healthy, and you cannot be healthy without having strength. There is no weak, healthy person, and today's topic is actually about getting your first chin-up. And there's a lot of people who struggle with chin-ups, and it's very common to say, oh, I'll never get a chin-up, or it's just so hard, like there's no way I could get a chin-up. And it's actually one of the things that's very, a lot of people, a lot of girls, a lot of women want to do their first chin-up, and it's like but not a lot of people believe they can do it. And so here's my simple way to look at this. And it goes like this. You're not going to get something that you never practice. Like, why is it going to happen if you've never practiced it? Like, you get better at things that you spend time doing, right? And any physical ability that you want can be achieved. And you can get a lot further than what you expect if you just practice it more. So, one of my big influences in strength and conditioning, but also in general life philosophy, is Dan John, and he says, if it's important, do it every day. And if you want to, if it's a skill, and that, I don't want people to take that to the extreme. There's a lot of context there that's missing, but if you, in its simplest forms, like if you've only tried to do a chin-up never in your life, how are you going to get it? You're not, right? And so you got to build a bridge. Like, you can't do a chin-up right now. Your goal is to do a chin-up. You have to build a bridge to that point. You can't jump from one side of the river to the other. You have to bridge yourself there. And so that's the other problem that people have, is number one, they never practice anything. Like, you're not going to get any better. But number two, if they do, they just attempt to jump across, and you can't jump that far. You got to build a bridge, and nobody wants to build that bridge. So what would that bridge look like? There's many ways that you can build that bridge. There's all kinds of bridges you can build. So I'm going to just give you a simple one. All right. The simple one is like this. All right. You're going to start strength training, like deadlift, squats, presses, rows, lots of rows, rope rows, pen lay rows, one arm rows, inverted rows, whatever, ring rows, as many rows as you can get in there, right? So you're going to build your overall strength, and strength is simply your ability to create tension and stiffness. And that as that improves, your ability to do a pull-up will improve. Now, the next piece is you're going to actually practice the movement itself. So obviously, if you can't do a pull-up or a chin-up, you're going to start pulling, and nothing's going to happen. All right, cool. But now here's some bridges to that. You can do ring rows with extreme control, okay? No flopping around. You should not drop into it. You should not jerk yourself up. It should be so smooth and controlled, okay? And if that means you got to stand almost vertical to adjust the difficulty, then so be it. Now, here's the next part. You have to slowly increase difficulty over time. So that means, with ring rows, let's say, for example, you're holding on to the rings, you're facing up towards the ceiling, and if you're all the way on almost parallel to the ground, it's gonna be tough for you to do that if you've never done it. So the more you stand, the more you move your feet back and stand up vertical, the easier it becomes, right? So you're gonna pick a point where it's difficult to control it, but you still can, all right, during the ring row. And so you're going to find that spot, and you're going to work there. And now the other piece is you have to continuously increase the difficulty. Otherwise, your body won't get any stronger. Like, if you stay at a 45-degree angle and you never make it more difficult, or you never do more reps, or you never do more sets, you won't get stronger. You have to increase the difficulty in order for your body to respond and thus get stronger. So eventually, over time, you're going to build up your ring row to where you're completely parallel to the ground and you have complete control all the way up and all the way down. That means including the beginning part of the pull, right? As you're starting to pull in those first few inches, and also the last part of the pull where you're descending down, that should also be controlled. Then the next part of the bridge you can add is you can go to the rings, to the bar itself, and start pulling up yourself to whatever point you can and doing partial reps. Then you can do some little bit of time hanging from the bar. You can jump up all the way to the top of the chin-up position and hold the top position. You can jump up to the top position and lower yourself under control. These are all ways to bridge yourself to doing one chin-up. Okay? Now, one thing to remember here, that you got to practice it. If it's important, practice it every day. Okay? And number two, you have to build the bridge. So it cannot be extremely, I'm just going to try to do chin-ups. Like, no, you gotta work your way to that point, all right? So those are your two keys if you're trying to do a chin-up. The big thing that I really wanted to talk about with this was that, if you don't spend time doing something, how are you going to get it? You're not. It's like, if I sit here and I never work on, my relationship, but I complain about not having a good relationship. It's like, why would that happen? It doesn't make any sense. Like, are you expecting it to just magically happen? Because then you're being a silly goose. But that's really what you got to do. You got to question yourself. When you say, like, man, I'll never get a chin up, or I really want a chin up, this sucks, I can't do it. Okay. How much time have you spent trying to practice the chin-up? How many sessions per week do you spend on strength? How many sessions per week do you spend on doing some type of pulling movements that will bridge you to the chin-up? So you can ask yourself, like, do I really want a chin-up, or does it just sound nice and I just want to complain about not being able to do it? It's like the guy who says, he wants to make a lot of money, but he never works. It's like, well, do you really want it? Because you're not doing anything about it. There's a lot of things that you could be doing, but you're sitting here complaining that you can't, or you don't have it already, right? So we'll leave it at that, guys. Hopefully this was helpful. If you found this helpful, like, comment, review, share, do whatever you want to do. If you think it sucks, go ahead and comment, leave that as well. You're entitled to your wrong opinion. It's all good. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and go get those chin-ups.